So, I'm back in my Calculate Linux environment. This is a little update how things went with my Slackware. So I got Slackware installed, I got VirtualBox installed. If somebody's interested, I can give you the step-by-step how to make it work, because there's more than just installing a few things. I made a video about that. Then I tried to install my wireless printer with the HP toolbox, which comes with Slackware, which worked perfectly fine on my Pavilion laptop Slackware installation, which was impossible to do on my Voyager PC. My Synology Node Station, which works perfectly fine on my Pavilion Slackware installation, did not work and could not make to work on my Slackware installation on my Voyager PC. I spent so much time to get this experimental Linux system to work. It's a random error creating system. So if you want to, if you have too much time, if you live 500 years or longer, and you want to waste lots of time, then you do install Slackware and try to do something out of the ordinary, more than just starting a browser, web client, and a text editor. And you will find yourself with tons of different errors. I cannot comprehend or understand or come anywhere near to understand why I can install it on a Pavilion laptop. It works perfectly fine. And on a PC, it just does not do anything. It permanently, randomly generates new errors. And I would think you have more fun and joy with Linux from scratch than with Slackware. So I stop my series for now here until I really have too much time, and then I continue from there. But I left that installation on. After I had VirtualBox running, I tinkered around to get HP-lib or HP Toolbox running again, and after I rebooted, then my VirtualBox in Slackware stopped working again. So as I said, it consistently produces new errors from boot up to boot up, and from installation to installation. And my conclusion is it's human unfriendly. It's a maze. It's a ban to humanity. If somebody from Linux, from Windows, would come to Slackware, they would run with open arms and open doors back to Windows. Slackware is a nightmare. I haven't seen anything like that since the 1990s. I've not seen anything that bad than Slackware. And yeah, people can tell me off here now, just watch my videos. You haven't seen the hours I spent yesterday night. My network manager broke down. I had to fix that. And then HP broke down. My node station didn't work. What the heck? What is Slackware supposed to do? To keep you stupid? I have no idea. So my strong recommendation for everyone, stay away from Slackware. Really. Because it randomly works and it randomly produces new errors. For some reason, not on my Pavilion laptop. It works just fine there. Everything seems to be stable and working. I have no idea. I cannot follow the steps what make an installation on a Pavilion laptop different to an installation on a PC. If I use Calculate Linux, it installs on my PC. It looks like this. It works like this. I install it on my Pavilion laptop. It looks like this. It works like this. If I can do the same steps over again and get the same results over again. This seems to be impossible for Slackware to ever reach. So, in my personal opinion, I think it's good that Slackware is dying out. Yes, it's the oldest Linux distribution, but it stood still in time in 1993. It seems to have not moved on. It has degenerated, in my opinion, very much, because I used it before and it worked. Now it produces experimental, permanent, fatal errors. I wouldn't call it a system, an error-producing system. That is what Slackware is. And no, it is not HP Toolbox fault. And no, it's not VirtualBox fault. Because it works on everything else, right? If VirtualBox would give you permanent errors on Gentoo, on Arch, on Debian, on Ubuntu, on Fedora, on Mageia, Red Hat, CentOS, okay, then it would be VirtualBox fault. But it doesn't. It does it randomly. I don't know what the random factor number is to produce these errors. On installs. I installed it 3 times now. Again, since yesterday night. I wasted hours for hours and I got always different results. And the last result is that my most advanced install, where VirtualBox was running, until I rebooted, my note station didn't work anymore. It's a nightmare. So this is a short video now, because I do not want to rant. I mean, what a terrible, terrible time thief and frustrating piece of software Slackware is. I cannot express how bad it is. And I'm sorry for all these people who do try to make a distro running out of Slackware. You can't polish cow shit. You can't polish it. If you base your distro on Slackware, you are lost, because you do all the nice efforts, you theme it well, you have good thoughts behind it, you try to optimize it, and then Slackware randomly produces errors under the hood for your distro not to work or to produce these random errors. If you are a distro maker from Slackware, I would recommend build something from scratch. I think you will be far more successful. You don't have these errors. If Solus would have been based on Slackware, they would have been unknown or randomly known. And so for me, I have to really focus. I have my driving instructor exam moves from 1 week to the other, but that doesn't mean I don't have to learn. I still have to learn. I cannot waste my lifetime anymore with Slackware. Once I have too much time at hand and I'm bored, I go to my experimental system, which is called Slackware. It is a dreadful nightmare. I will say there is a tiny, tiny, tiny promille chance that my computer might be at fault. Because I have... You know what, I wait... No, I'm not now. After I did my written exam, I will do one more time an install on a different PC. And then I have to see how it works. The thing is, my Voyager PC was running my FreeNAS system 24/7 without error or fault. Seamlessly. Everything just worked. I hope for Slackware that there is somewhere a hardware fault in RAM, in whatever, which is causing these issues. Because as I said, on my Pavilion laptop, it works alright. It works like it is intended to, like a Linux distribution would be intended to work. On my Voyager PC, I installed it, I think, meanwhile, with Celix, it's like I installed it at least 8 or 9 times. And these 8 or 9 times, you can see a few videos, are a nightmare. It is a horror to spend your time with Slackware, at least on my PC. I can only hope it is a PC issue, because I have no idea what else it could be. I cannot imagine. Or maybe you just roll the dice and you're lucky, like I was with a Pavilion laptop. I rolled the dice, I installed, it worked. Then I roll the dice, installed it on my Voyager laptop, PC, doesn't work. Roll it again, doesn't work. Roll it again, doesn't work. Roll it again. It never works. And it produces random errors. You fix one, you patch one hole, you break another. What the heck? What's a pitiful, terrible time thief and poorly excuse based on the mission statement is not true from Slackware. Take one S out. It is for keep. It is KYS. Keep you stupid. That's what it does. That is what it's good for. It's an experimental system. Not even as this, because it randomly produces new errors. Get Slackware from scratch. Watch Das Gregor's video. It seems to be so much more successful. Yeah, he had his problems with multilib, but what he did, it worked. I cannot say that from Slackware on my PC installation. It never worked. It was a nightmare. Man, was that a nightmare. And I have to force myself, I cannot give up usually, but I have to force myself to stop with that pitiful piece of stuck in the past, so far behind from the 90s software. Get a Game Boy, you will have more fun with that, from the 90s or whatever. Man, is that bad. Is Slackware bad? I cannot stress enough. Stay away from Slackware. If you want a rock solid system which is not a rolling release, get MX17. Do you want a rock solid system which is a rolling release? Get Calculate Linux. If you need, you can only go for Slackware if you have hardware which is 50 years old, I think. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Man, is that a nightmare. I cannot stress this enough. How terrible that system is. I cannot believe how much time I wasted for this pitiful, horrible, time thief, random error producing junk. Man, look at this here. I just get my updates. Just flying over. I don't see anything crucial coming up. Virtual Linux source. So I can just, push a button, update it. Man. No, the guy was right. Slackware is not just not for me. It is for nobody. Except you're masochistic. 50 Shades of Grey. I never watched that video. Maybe that's 100 Shades of Linux catastrophe errors producing. You get permanent slapped when you sit on your Slackware system. You want to do something, you get slapped on your wrist, you get knocked down from behind. It's permanent attacking your freedom to work, to enjoy yourself, to do what you need to do. Do not go with Slackware, guys. Don't. And no, nobody can talk it nice to me anymore. I had enough days and hours spent and errors and failures encountered. Somewhere installation errors because I did not know how to make it work. That's the thing. How to make it work. It's not that you go like now 2018, you just install it and it works. No, in Slackware you have to make things work. And while you do this, Slackware is randomly breaking something else in the background for you. So the next time you boot, you find yourself with different problems. If you dare to fix one before. I have no words. This is the end of this. You can't have Slackware as a daily driver. As a slave driver to torture you and steal your time and make you miserable and want to give up everything you ever did. It makes you think you don't know anything. In reality, Slackware is a junk coded. It was maybe once, but somehow the left hand does not know what the right hand does. Yeah, because when they updated something, they did not consider anything else, and it is not logical. It is not digital, really. It's a nightmare. It's the spider web, not a spider web. It looks logical. It has a structure. The Slackware is if you take a bucket of paint and throw it on a wall, That's what you get every time, something different. Every install is another bucket on a wall. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Stay away from Slackware. Do not use Slackware. If you appreciate, not if you value your time and your sane mind, stay away from Slackware. Slackware is a nightmare I haven't experienced. My first walking in the 1990s with Linux, it is nowhere near this rubbish, bad, terrible experience I had with Slackware. I have never encountered something like this. You know, when Linux came out on disks and you couldn't even get a mouse working or a printer, and that was logical stuff. There were drivers missing. These things could be fixed. Slackware is beyond, because it reproduces permanent random errors every time you fire up that system on certain computers. Obviously, I mean, I haven't rebooted my Pavilion laptop. Maybe that keeps it running. If I reboot my Pavilion laptop, who knows what I get then? Don't do it. I mean, I have calculated Linux on it, so I don't have to worry about it. That's why I say you have to always your second system. And if Slackware breaks down, just one thing on my Pavilion laptop, it gets replaced by MX17. So I will have my Calculate Linux there as my daily driver and baby, and my backup system is MX17 then. And that's my choice. And Slackware, RIP. Really. This should be not just Windows. Throw Slackware into that here too. You know, if you go FreeBSD, you will be so much more delighted. You will have success. It's logical. It's structured. You can follow instructions to make things work. You can understand what's going on. It does not produce random problems. You know, I have no words. I'll keep that video short because I wasted so much time. So much time and effort and nerves and energy to get a piece of junk coded by, I have no idea. I don't want to insult these people, but it is illogical, it is not structured, it is randomly producing new errors, it is a nightmare. So if you don't have a Pavilion laptop as and I haven't rebooted yet, if I reboot I might just find the same thing happening there. Don't go for Slackware. If you value your time, if you value your nerves, if you want to live in peace and freedom and do what you want to do on your computer, and don't get permanent bombarded by new errors and faults and failing parts, do not go for Slackware. Yes, this is just my opinion and it's based on my experience for I don't know how many weeks I spent now on it. None of them works. None of these Slackware stuff works. And the distros don't work fine either because they can't. Because they are based on a junk system. That's why Slackware can't work. That's why Salix can't work. And that's why Vector gave me different errors. It cannot work. It's based on Slackware. If these distros don't work out what Slackware made wrong in these years when they upgraded their system, it won't work. It will be junk at all times. Except you install it on my HP Pavilion laptop. I had to vent this out, guys. That's how I have enough of that system. Boy, do I have enough of Slackware. Man, was this a waste of time. I think Vectorlin, everything will be better. I cannot imagine you encounter anything like that. I would rather have i3 running on any system. And that means something to me if you know what I think about i3 or OpenBox. OpenBox is a colored i3 system. In i3 you have a black screen with white dots, and in OpenBox you have a black screen with colorful dots. It's the same thing. No fine graphical environment doing things. You have an illusion of a panel, which you can't do much with it. If I checked it with Tin 2, then you can configure a little bit, but I encountered a panel, no idea what to do with it. But that's just me, and I'd rather go back to those things and work them out because they're somewhere logical and structured, and you can work with it. So that is the end for now of the journey with my Slackware. I'm so surprised it still runs on my Pavilion. I think I'll do that and will reboot my laptop just to see what it does. I really want to see what's coming up then or next. And the tiniest thing not working on my Slackware on my Pavilion laptop, it gets kicks out. And I just keep it running because it seems to have its own life. It seems to be artificial intelligence or artificial dumbness, because it produces one error after the other. I have no idea. I have to keep that video short because I get carried away in a very bad way from this pile of rubbish. Whoa, is that a nightmare. Do not waste your time, honestly. It's 2018, nobody built Linux from scratch. You will be far more successful. Do not go for this rubbish. If you want to tinker around, use Gentoo. Like you see here, Calculate Linux is based on Gentoo. You have almost all advantages from Arch. It's not that bleeding edge, it's bleeding edge. But here with Calculate Linux, it's easy maintainable. It's a system to work for you, and not you to work for the system. And Slackware is not even a system. It's a experimental, random, error-producing, crash, junk collection. Yeah. I have to work out what Slackware, every letter means. It starts with stupid. No, I don't go there. So, I know everybody can say what they want. Prove me wrong, watch my videos, see how one error after the other appears, how nothing wants to work, how other brains on my channel started trying to make things work. We made it work. I got VirtualBox working until I rebooted. Just imagine this. You need to work on your computer, and no, you can't. It's like Arch. If Arch is better, don't get me wrong, Arch is better. It's just Arch suffers from being bleeding edge. What's the opposite of bleeding edge? That is Slackware. Slackware is stuck in 1993, but it doesn't run anymore as good as it did in 1993. Now it's junk. In 1993 or 4 or 5 you could install it and it worked. It did the basics. Now you can't even get a printer running anymore. It's this really back in time. I wouldn't mind in 1993, 4, 5, but 2018 you can't install an HP printer? What the heck? Wake up, Slackware. Just do me a favor. They told me I should do them a favor and let Slackware go, and I will do this. But Slackware, do me a favor. Remove your experimental system as an operating system. It is not. So, I stop it right now, right here. This is it. I load that video up and I have no idea how I call it, because pile of junk commentary? No, the commentary of a huge pile of junk? I don't know. So, I might lose another few subscribers, but as I don't monetize, that is not the big deal. It's just that if people can't take the... this is not my opinion based on illusion. This is my opinion based on weeks with help of people from my channel to make this junk work. And every time you get something to work, something else breaks into pieces. And that shows when people installed it actually, and they always talk nice, oh, that's a nice little distro. No, it's not. It's junk. In the moment you start working with it, you will figure out it breaks down all the time something else, and it is junk. It's not a nice distro. It's not a nice operating system. It does not serve you. It is pure junk. This is it now. Ranting Dirk, over and out. This was my last word about Slackware. So guys, this is it. That's my opinion, and nothing will change it. Not even if my Pavilion laptop runs for 100 years with Slackware, because it's random. It does it just for unknown reasons on my Pavilion laptop. It does not work obviously anywhere else. I mean, I had only 2 PCs, a laptop and a PC to test with. Not worth it, guys. Not worth it. By no means worth your time, your nerves, your energy. Nothing at all. It's not worth it. Don't. Do not try it out. Save your time and efforts. Don't. That's it. Over and out for Slackware from my channel. This is it, guys. Sergi says that Silix and Slackware bring something out in April I might have a look then, because I should have more time available. But only those. Slackware is not going to change, so the only one who can change something on this pile of junk are the distro makers, even like Vector Linux. They can change things. As Slackware has lost control over what they coded. That's for me the only explanation why it fails to install packages, syntax errors, not just dependencies, while it produces and kills by every reboot like Windows XP. Forget about it. This is it. Over and out. I think I said enough, my video is showing enough. I wish I would have never known about Slackware. That's how far I got now. I wish I would have never known about Slackware. And I was so excited because I used it before and it was something. No, thank you. Rest in peace, Slackware, never come back to me. This is it, my ranting video, which is not a rant, which is just a very nice, carefully worded description of my journey and experience with this piece of junk. This is it, over and out. Sorry to see you guys leaving my channel, but that was it for Slackware. Bye bye.